Hello and welcome to another episode of Walking the Halls with Rubem. Today here in Manila, site M8, with Michelle Bentubo from Virgin Voyages,
Hi, everyone.
who also just won Top Ocean Cruise Line of the Year.
Yes, you
Now
got
in December,
it.
yes.
Yes, you got it.
You have no idea how hard it was for me to memorize this name, but now I got it. Across some other, awards that Virgin won throughout this year. So speaking of being in the top, Michelle, my first question to you is, how do Virgin understand customers' best experience look like? Because Virgin is very unique in the way that you guys provide, the experience on board. So how does it work for you guys? What good looks like, and how do you guys manage to deliver it?
I think that it's we pay attention to what our sailors are saying. So before we even had sailors, we spent an awful lot of time just mapping out what that end-to-end sailor journey was going to look like. And I think the key for us was understanding where those hero moments were. It wasn't about coming out and changing everything. It was about really picking the spots where we believed that we could make a difference. And those are the ones that we focused on. So when we launched, we made sure that we paid attention to what sailors were telling us about those hero moments. And it's okay that we maybe didn't get it right. Like every step of the way.
Not the first time.
No, but that was okay, because there's a humility in being able to say, I hear you. Yes, we could have done that differently. We could have done that better. And then we go and we change it, and we come back and we make it. So I'd say that it is listening to what our sailors are telling us, and not being too proud to say we got something wrong. And at the same time, our crew members are frontline. Our crew members are interacting every single day. So it's just as important to understand what they're saying and what feedback they're giving it, because they're living it. They're the ones who will speak up even when your sailors don't. So I'd probably say listening is probably the biggest one.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more. I think now, in times that we have a lot of people more concerned about talking and expressing themselves instead of listening, I think, having a company with the culture of listening really can make a big change. So I agree, and I think it shows, the outcome. Now, since you're listening so much for your customers, I believe you might have a roadmap or what you expect to future to look like for Virgin in the next years, or what were you doing to try to keep mining what to do next? Because you guys are very unique in what you do. So the sailors are probably, okay, I love it, but now what next?
What's next? Yes, what next? So you've got to go figure out what comes next on any roadmap. I wish I had that crystal ball to say what was coming. But we've launched our fourth ship. So last of her class is what I like to say. Brilliant Lady came out earlier this year. So we now have all 4 ships up and operating on their own really unique and amazing itineraries. I think for us as a company, we have spent the last 4 years now in such a launch mode, where that was never the plan. But COVID, our gift of COVID, really compressed what we had planned over the course of every 15 months being able to bring out a ship. So we have just been playing catch up for so long that we finally have, there's almost that sigh of relief that comes with, okay, all 4 are out there. Now we get to take a step back and say, let's look at what the product is that we've offered, because we've learned so much along the way and been able to make those tweaks as we've gone. But now it's about, how are we evolving? To your point, sailors want to come back. They want new menus. They want different restaurants.
Exactly, yes.
They want to see different entertainment. So that is now where we spend our time, is thinking, how do we evolve the product so that she continues to be fresh, makes our repeat rate even stronger, so folks come back. But while we keep an on to what's made us unique and what makes us huge, what's made us successful with our sailors, and something that our sailors want to, because it's really easy to say, okay, now we're going to redo it all.
We've done it. Yeah, we figured it out. We know it all.
But then you don't pay homage to the things that got you here. So we've got to, right now we're figuring out what are the nuggets that are us, that are uniquely us and that are core us, and how do we hold on to those and maybe change them slightly, but not so they lose their character. So it's really about product evolution right now.
Sure. And it was interesting that you mentioned COVID, because after COVID, that impacted the industry dramatically. Ooh. Everybody grew a lot. I mean, many industries, including cruising, I think it was like exponential how we grew. So competition was there. Doesn't apply so much for Virgin because I think your product is just quite unique.
Thank you. But, we do too.
But listening, again, going back to your point of listening to the sailors, I think will put you ahead of the game. So I'm excited to see, what's coming next for
me too, because the really smart people are working on products. So.
Now, when you have this amount of growth and success, you need partners to work with you, and as you have done in many areas of the company, including in the customer experience.
Right.
And now we just have IGT within your portfolio. Yes, that's why you're here in Manila in 8. Now, a question that I have for you first is, what, in your opinion, would differentiate just a vendor, to a true partner? Because in the end of the day, that's what I believe you're looking for, right?
I would say it's the same thing that differs an employee from a family member, an employee from a crew member, and it's having a partner, somebody that works in who understands and believes in the brand that they're representing. Because a vendor is checking a box. It's commodity. Yes. Vendor is a commodity. You need this service. I can provide it. You get paid. I do it. You get paid at the end of it. As long as I'm fulfilling that, I'm good.
Check.
A partner wants to understand the brand, wants to understand the why behind the brand, begins to believe in the brand as well, and really becomes in that journey that I want to help you be successful. Now, while you're being successful, I'm going to be successful as well. But there becomes that we know that we're not successful without the other.
Yeah.
And that you take a pride in that. So for me, the partner actually really becomes part of the believing in the brand. And not everybody does that. And not everybody can do that, by the way, either. I think one of the things that attracted me to IGT that really made you stand out was the culture that the team talked about. The culture that I did some research, the culture that was becoming part of what, like right here, you can see it in this building. You could, when we were in Cape Town, you could see it, you could feel it in that building, is that you've got to be able to have the right environment. You've got to be able to cultivate the right culture within your own brand before you can actually start to believe in somebody else's. And that was one of the things that probably resonated the most with me from an IGT perspective.
I love the passion when you mentioned about brand, because brand really, I think we take for granted sometimes about the power of the brand. And I don't think Virgin does that, just from the very beginning, for every level of engagement, from the crew level to executive level, how serious you take, the brand. And I think it come across, and it does make a difference. And I think influences us how we handle, I think, the business, and pushes us to another level. And you already actually answered one of the questions that I had, like why IGT, what clicked, Virgin, and I'm glad that you were able to recognize, besides of the research that you probably have done.
I had to do some research, please. But you talk about when we talk about brand, it is, it means something to have Virgin on our name tags. Yeah. It means something. And if it doesn't mean something, and I say this to our crew all the time, if it doesn't mean something to you, then you probably are wearing the wrong name tag. And that's okay. Like, it's okay. Our brand isn't going to resonate.
It's not for everybody.
It's not going to resonate with everyone. Yeah. But it's acknowledging that you really can't be your best. You really can't deliver on a promise if you don't believe in the brand you wear on your chest.
Which is true.
So for us is that be proud. here we're Virgin Voyages, but we are very small in the grand Virgin company. We wear something much bigger on our chest, and it's understanding the fact that we are part of a brand ethos, and being Virgin means something. Not just Virgin Voyages, but being Virgin means something to us.
That's total brand. Well, yeah, I even have an anchor here.
Yes, I know. I was saying that. You still have you've got your anchor
that I got in my day
there.
one.
Yes,
You have it.
yes.
So it's a very strong. Now,
that in itself is part of our ethos. I don't know. So this band that this is unplanned, by the way, as well.
Yes,
but
here,
Rubem
let me
is
get a little closer.
proudly
Yes.
wearing. We knew that we were going to have to give something that wasn't just a hotel key card to folks, but from an ethos perspective, it is how do we do better? Like, how are we making the right impact? And that is made from 100% recycled ocean plastic that is manufactured not too far from here, and then shipped over for us. So that is part of how do we do better? And we looked at how can we make a difference in the ocean.
Yeah, impacting the environment.
Yep.
And people's lives with the great vacations.
Yeah.
Now, do you think, Michelle, that it's possible for companies, and especially I think in your role as a COO, to see the customer experience centers not only as a cost center, but actually a profitable center, or have a more meaning to it? Because most of companies would understand that the customer care would only represent a cost.
Right.
I do tend to believe there's a little more to it. So do you think it's possible? What's your take to it?
I think you and I both. I think that I'd like to talk to any company that thinks that their contact center is just a cost center. Because I would beg to differ that these are the these are the voices, these are the faces, and these are the hearts that represent your brand, and they're going to either make it right or make it bad.
Yeah.
And if you are thinking that your contact center is just a cost center for you, then you're likely missing out on the greater service delivery that you should be providing. So COOs all across who see this, don't get mad at me. However, they are the people on the phone, the people who are sending your emails, the people who are doing your chat. They are the guardians of your brand.
Yes.
They are, and it doesn't matter if you're paying them by your company check or through a third party. They're the people that you have entrusted to deliver the promise of your brand. If you're thinking about it as a cost center, you're probably missing the service aspect.
Maybe we failed delivering the brand, right? And wearing that shirt, with the logo. Yeah, true. Now, you just mentioned, sending emails, doing chat. And that it could help me wonder about AI that everybody talks about.
Rage.
I mean, I couldn't have this talk today without talking about AI. So, what's your take, particularly for cruises or even for Virgin specifically? Where do you think it's going? Because each company has their own take about it, AI and how it can help. So do you have today a opinion or a strategy? Where do you think we're going with this?
Yeah, I think that any business that isn't paying attention to the abilities that AI is bringing right now will fall short in the long run. I think first and foremost, we've all been using AI for a really long time. We just didn't know it.
Wow.
But, just the data, the insights, if you use Tableau, if you use Qualtrics, I mean, it is all AI.
Yes.
Even the toll by plate, like fees or penalties you receive in the mail, it's a form of AI.
Yep.
But I think from a company perspective, if you aren't looking for how I can increase my resources that I have with if you're not looking at the way that AI will enable those resources to increase their productivity, then you are likely missing a huge opportunity. And likely, 5 years from now, you're going to be behind the boat on from a technology standpoint. I think where I've been in far too many conversations where companies might be looking at, if I put this from an AI perspective, I can cut resources. 100% different the way that we're looking at it. AI for us is not about how do I eliminate resources. It really is about how do I use AI to invest in my people. And it is how do I use it so that I can increase my human interaction. Because technology is doing the things that are just task related in the background so that I can do all the analyzing. I can serve up all the information that I need to that makes this interaction richer. So from a Virgin Voyages standpoint, and our CEO has said it really well, wherever he goes, I'm not asking us to become smarter and more robust within our technology or AI capabilities, because I'm trying to get rid of people. So I just want to enable our crew to do more because they have the right tools in order to do it. So we at Virgin Voyages, I don't think we've talked about this. Every Monday for an hour, we have blocked calendars where it is our AI discovery time. And we have a Google.
Oh, okay. So you're very intentional about it.
Our CEO is very intentional about it because we really believe that it is the power of the individual who can unlock it. It doesn't have to be company driven. It really can be one of those organic things that grow from your own curiosity. The crew members, your employees' own curiosity that is going to actually unlock the possibilities for you.
And that brings the user aspect, right? Because that's, I think it's very smart. It's not just some people sitting on the table.
Push down isn't good. Push down isn't good. It's that how do you tap into the curiosity of your own employees, your own crew members, to let them start to explore and show you, listen, I did this. The 3 apps that we are developing in-house right now all came because crew members said there's got to be an easier way for me to do my job. And they developed and brought the tools to us. And now we are expanding those.
And usually when you make it easier and better for the crew member, it ended up being better for the sailor.
It does.
Because you can extend indirectly or directly. We can just make it available sometimes for the sailors and for the final consumer, call it how you want to call it. So resuming only as effectiveness or reducing costs, I think we're missing the point where we can really bring great customer experience. So we cannot miss the point. If you make it better for your crew member,
you always make it better for your sailor. Always.
You can, exactly. One is connected to the other completely. So we are getting close to the end, but not there yet. Okay. But I have a question. What excites you now next? What's in the plan? What do you foresee coming now for Virgin, for cruise, for the industry?
I think from an industry perspective, I know there's so much that excites me about the industry. But I think from a cruise perspective, we're not done. There's a fair amount of capacity that's on the books, slotted to be built still. So we haven't even seen what is coming down the pike for all of the other cruise lines. But specifically from an industry, it's an industry that will continue to grow. And people are choosing cruising more and more every day.
Sure.
From a Virgin Voyages perspective, for us, it's about, we're so green. When you think about where we are in our growing up, we're operating 4 years now. So literally 4 years. 4 years and 2 months.
That long.
So when you think of that against a lot of the legacy companies who are phenomenal in their own right, but they've been operating decades. So their brand awareness is very, very strong. Their databases are huge. So for us, I think it's how do we continue to look at our product and evolve that product so that we can grow our community. Because I don't think that Virgin Voyages is unique, or the sailors love us because we've got amazing hardware and we've got the best entertainment and our food is fantastic. Amazing. By the way, I believe
one of the awards, by the way.
I believe all those things. But I think that what really sets us apart is the way that we string the experience together from start to finish. And it's not about you come off and you go, oh, that one meal was great, or that one show. It is, you walk off feeling like you are part of something bigger than just yourself, or you stepped on to the way you think that the world should be. And if only it, like everything could be that way. So I think that for us, the excitement for Virgin Voyages, how do we continue to grow that? How do we continue to evolve that? And how do we engage with our own crew base so that we hear what they're saying? We get the best ideas from our crew, like we do, shipboard and shoreside, because they're talking to our sailors. So how do we tap into our crew so that we hear what our sailors need and want and what they want? Because I think I just said that when you make it better for your crew, you make it better for your sailors. So
sure.
I think it's just that where we can go is endless.
It's kind of a sum of everything that we spoke. Listening from, your customer, from the sailors, having the right partner, continue evolving, being smart about it, using what's available to you in a way that, can benefit the final consumer, your crew members, your sailors, so the whole ecosystem, and that can be exciting. It can only be exciting, right? So it's great.
It's just good things for us, for both of us, Rubem.
It's not for both of us, as partners.
Yes.
I appreciate it. Now, I do have the last question for you, which is the tricky one that I like to say.
You didn't prep me for the tricky one.
It's the mic drop.
Okay.
That's either it's walk the halls with Rubem or running away from Rubem. So
okay. All right.
It's not that bad. It's just, we all know that for every partner that we have, there was those days like that when everything went wrong for your sailor, for example. So when we have those days, when those days happen, what's your advice? How you take it? What's the mindset, and we as partners, how can we be there, and what would you expect from us?
Good question, by the way. But things are going to go wrong. Like, we all know that. It doesn't matter. Best laid intentions. It doesn't. There are going to be those moments. I think that, and we've had them. We've all been there. I think one is admitting when you've made a mistake, first and foremost. And I don't care if it's to the sailor. I don't care if it's to your own employee. I don't care if it's to your partner. Just being able to say, listen, I've made a mistake. I can do better. We can do better. And here's how. And I think that just understanding that, or owning the fact that something is going wrong, because I do it almost on a daily basis to our sailors, that we can do better together. And I think that that's the important part, is that remembering that nobody is doing this alone. Our crew members aren't doing this alone. Our companies aren't doing this alone. We have amazing, talented people that we are surrounded with. So I think that when you can be better together, it makes a difference, and you get there. But you got to start with a conversation.
Sure. Yeah.
I didn't run away.
No, lucky me.
I didn't run.
No, I think be honest to ourselves, and it is the best approach. And having those hard conversations are also important. Once I heard that if you're gonna like someone, just don't lie to yourself. So owning it, like you said, like having the ownership of the situation. Also, it's important. So we want to be there for those days. We will be there for those days as well. We know it will be those days.
We'll be there together.
Yes. But we'll do it together. Exactly. That's the spirit. So, Michelle, thank you again for being here with us today.
Right.
It's been great for me. I think it's a great time. I would keep going, and let's keep walking until we get to the US.
Yes. I think we've got some crew about to hit the phones.
Yes.
This has been fantastic, Rubem. I appreciate that. Anytime somebody wants to hear me talk, I'm always appreciative because I can talk about our crew and our product and our brand endlessly. So I appreciate the opportunity. But more so, thank you. Thank you and the entire IGT team. From the moment we first engaged with one another, which probably now is about 8 months ago, to it's been a journey to the fact that we've now launched. Cape Town, and now hitting the phones this week here in Manila, and we'll continue to grow that and work together. It has been refreshing, and we have felt the partnership. We have felt the engagement at all aspects, at all levels of the organization. So very appreciative. So from my family to yours, thank you.
Thank you. I'm honored to be part of it. Thank you, everyone. I hope to see you again in the next episode. Let's see where in the world we will be. Thank you. See you next time.